Hi, in this lecture I would like to introduce you the concept of trees by explaining the basic terminology used in trees. Before we start our lecture, let us see how the trees are useful and where they are useful. In maintaining data and storing information in computer database, trees play a major role. So that is the reason we have to concentrate more on the different concepts related to trees. So we begin the concept by defining the tree first. Suppose a connected graph is there. If it is undirected and has no simple circuits, then it is called a tree. So in brief, we can define a tree as a connected undirected graph without any simple circuits. Here there are 4 examples shown. In the first graph G1, clearly we can observe that it is a connected graph. Connected means any 2 vertices can be joined by a simple path. So it is connected and there is no simple circuit in this. It is undirected. So it is a connected undirected graph, no simple circuit, no closed cycle here. Therefore, this graph G1 form a tree. Similarly, when we look at the graph G2, here also we can observe that the graph is connected, undirected, having no circuit at all. Therefore, this G2 is also a tree. Whereas coming to the example G3, there is a simple circuit included. It is a connected graph, but there is a simple circuit existing in this graph, namely A, B, E, D, A. Since a simple circuit is existing in this connected graph, we say that this is not a tree. Similarly, we look at the example 4. This is basically not a connected graph. There are 2 connected components here, namely AF and CE, BD. Different components are there, right? So this is not a connected. Moreover, there is no simple circuit. So definitely it is not a tree, but such graphs are known as forest. So what is a forest? A forest is a graph which is not connected and has no simple circuits. So this graph G4 form an example of a forest. Now let us see what is a rooted tree. Look at the example shown here, the first one. Suppose in a graph, one of the vertex is designated as a root. We may designate any vertex of the graph to be a root. And every edge is directed away from that root. So what we are doing in a graph, arbitrarily we are designating a vertex as a root. And every edge is directed away from that root. That formation of the graph is called a rooted tree. Suppose for this graph given, we choose A to be the root. And away from this root, every edge is directed away. Then with root vertex as A, this form a rooted tree. Suppose we choose C to be the root vertex. Then the corresponding rooted tree will be like this. So what we have observed here, corresponding to any graph, corresponding to any tree basically, corresponding to any tree, when we choose a vertex as a root, any vertex, and every edge is directed away from that root, we can have different possible rooted trees. In the rooted trees, we do not plot the directions on each edge. We just ignore the directions and we simply draw the rooted trees with whatever the root vertex we choose from the graph. And we call the tree to be the rooted tree. Now coming to the next example, next basic definition. We have few basic terminology regarding the concept of trees. I will show the examples here. Let us see the basic terminology used in the rooted trees. A parent in a rooted tree. A unique vertex such that there is a directed edge from U to V, where V is a vertex in T other than the root. Then V is called the child of U. Let me explain all these basic definitions by considering an example. You could easily understand if we introduce all the different terminology using the example of a rooted tree. So a rooted tree has been given here. In this rooted tree, it is clearly shown that A is the root vertex, right? Starting at the root vertex A, there are three children. This B, F, G. These three vertices B, F, G are called the children of the root vertex A. So A is called the parent of B of G. Because B of G are the children, similarly we have C and H, I are also the children. H, I are the children of G, C is the child of B. Right? So we can here come across a basic point. When we observe this graph, this rooted tree, A has the children, B F G has the children, C H I also has the children. Therefore, the vertices B A F G I H C. So all the vertices which has children are called the internal vertices of the tree, right? Corresponding to the vertex C, there are two children D and E. D and E have the same parent C. So we say D and E are siblings and their parent is C. Now let us introduce another basic word, antecedent and descendant, ancestor and descendant. Corresponding to this vertex C, ancestors means all the vertices that come in the path from the root vertex to this vertex C. So corresponding to this C, ancestor means the set of vertices A, B. The descendants of C means all that come after D. So all the vertices which come after C. So it is D, E become the descendants of C, whereas B, A become the ancestors of the C. We can see the last vertices here. Here the root vertex is called level 0 vertex at level 0. This B, F, G are called level 1 vertices. C, H, I level 3 vertices. Level 0, level 1, level 2 vertices. And the vertices which are at the last line D, E, K, L, M. These are called the vertices at level 3. So the height of the rooted tree is known as H is equal to 3. Right? Similarly, we can observe here from this graph, the vertex F has no child. So this is called a leaf. Similar is the property with the vertices D, E, K, L, M. These 5 vertices also have no children. So these are called as leaves. Right? I hope you are all understood regarding the basic terminology of a rooted tree. Now let us see what is a binary tree. Suppose at an internal vertex of a tree, there are not more than m children. Then we say that rooted tree is an m-array tree. If at every internal vertex exactly m children exist, we say that is a full m-array tree. So what is a m-array tree? If at each internal vertex of a tree there are not more than m children, it becomes m-array tree. The m-array tree is called full if that number is exactly equal to m. In particular case, if that m equals to 2, the word used for binary means if at each internal vertex of the tree there exists not more than 2 children, we say that the rooted tree is a binary tree. It becomes a full binary tree if exactly 2 children exist at each of the internal vertex. So here I have shown you 3 examples. Look at the first tree T1. We can see there are several internal vertices. So root itself is an internal vertex. It has 2 children. Next internal vertex is below that. It has 1 leaf and 1 internal vertex. 1 leaf is here. So we have along with the root several internal vertices represented in the graph. At the root there are 2 children. At the next internal vertex we have again 2 children. At the next third internal vertex at level 2 we have again 2 children. So our observation is at each of the internal vertices at root, next and the next internal vertex. At each of the 3 internal vertices there exists exactly 2 children. Therefore we say that this tree T1 is a full binary tree. Now coming to the example T2. We have at the root internal vertex. Root itself is an internal vertex in every tree. So corresponding to root there are 3 children. So 3 array tree it may be possibly. At the first internal vertex again 3 children. Second internal vertex again 3 children. At the third internal vertex, this is not an internal vertex, this is a leaf. Now coming to the next level internal vertex, again 3 children. So our observation is at each of the internal vertex, first at root, next the third internal vertex, the fourth internal vertex. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 internal vertices. At each of them exactly 3 children are there. Therefore we say that this tree T2 is a full 3 array tree. Coming to the third example, we can see at the root vertex there are only 2 children. Whereas at the next level internal vertices, each 3 children are there. So the number of children at the internal vertices is not uniform. Therefore we say that this is only a rooted tree but not a full M-array tree. Now coming to the ordered rooted trees. Suppose we give some order to the children of an internal vertex in a rooted tree. Then the rooted tree is called ordered rooted tree. We have corresponding to the root vertex, either left subtree or the right subtree can be defined. Looking at the example, we try to understand what is the left subtree and what is a right subtree. An example is shown here. Here A is a root vertex. Corresponding to the root vertex A, the tree starting at B. So considering B as the new root vertex along with its children. After B we have DE, the children of B. The children of D are F and G. So whatever I am highlighting here, with B as the root vertex, it is known as, including the vertices B, D, E, F, G, is known as the left subtree corresponding to the root vertex A. Similarly, the right subtree corresponding to the same root vertex is, including the vertices with root at E, E, H, I, J, K, L. Similarly, corresponding to any vertex of this rooted tree, we can define a left subtree and also a right subtree. Suppose we want to find the left and right subtree of the vertex C. This is the vertex C. For this, the left subtree is the tree with H as the root and child J. Right subtree means, for C, the right subtree is the tree with I as the new root and KL as the children. This IKL, this tree forms the right subtree corresponding to C, the vertex C. Likewise, in any rooted tree, we can have corresponding to any vertex considering as itself as a root, the left and right subtrees. Now let us see few properties of the trees. Suppose a tree has n vertices, then it will always have n minus 1 edges. If L is the number of leaves in that, then the equality n equal to L plus I will always hold true. So where I is the number of internal vertices. Suppose a full MRA tree has I internal vertices, then its number of vertices is given by mi plus 1 and the number of leaves m minus 1 into I plus 1. Suppose a full MRA tree has n vertices, then its number of internal vertices is given by n minus 1 by m and the number of leaves given by m minus 1 into n minus 1 by m plus 1. Suppose an MRA tree has L leaves, then the number of its vertices n equals to ml minus 1 by m minus 1 and the number of internal vertices equals to L minus 1 by m minus 1. Based on these properties of the trees, we can find out with whatever the given MRA tree with given number of vertices or given number of leaves or given number of internal vertices, the corresponding number of vertices, internal vertices, leaves or the vertices, the required total vertices in the tree. Thank you all. These are the basics, minimum we should all know to understand any basic concept of the trees, because trees are very much important. They play a major role in storing information in computer database. Thank you.